Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: dethronement of Emir Sanusi was ordered by Buhari. Kwankwanso speaks out. All right, but before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we would like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. All right, let's look at the news in detail. A former governor of Kaduna, Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwanso, has accused President Muhammadu Buhari of orchestrating the dethronement of Muhammad Sanusi II as Emir of Kano. Kano Focus reports that Mr. Sanusi was deposed as the Kano Emir by Governor Abdullahi Ganduje on Monday and subsequently banished to Nasarawa State, where he is allegedly being detained. Mr. Kwankwanso, who appointed Mr. Sanusi II as the 14th Emir of Kano in 2014, told BBC Hausa on Wednesday that Kano state government officials have been saying they were directed to dethrone Mr. Sanusi II. Buhari instructed them. He alleged that contrary to the claim that Mr. Buhari had intervened in the Kano Emirate crisis, we believe here in Kano that that's Buhari, interfere where he wishes. The former governor also said that President Buhari doesn't interfere where his intervention is needed, but interferes on issues he's supposed to be neutral about. The federal government is yet to officially react to the dethronement of Mr. Sanusi. However, Mr. Buhari has earlier said he did not have the constitutional power to intervene in crisis between Mr. Ganduje and Sanusi. Kwankwanso, that's the former governor of Kano State, described the removal of Sanusi as a sad incident to Kano, Nigeria, and the entire world, adding that the Emir Sanusi is a global citizen. According to him, no responsible government would dethrone Mr. Sanusi. The former governor also dismissed allegations that he queried Mr. Sanusi thrice during his tenure. I have never issued a query to His Highness, the Emir of Kano, he said. The opposition leader also denied the allegation that Kwankwasiwa loyalists have contributed to fueling the crisis between Ganduje and Sanusi. He said, to the best of his knowledge, Mr. Sanusi's sin against Ganduje was his statement that whoever won the 2019 governorship election in Kano should be given his mandate. Mr. Kwankwanso also lamented what he described as the humiliation of the deposed monarch as disrespect to the Kano people. People are coming up to talk. Before now, nobody was really speaking out, but right now, people have awoken out of their slumber to speak. Don't forget that in one of the aides to Governor Ganduje on media told the newspapers told the journalists that before now that Ganduje, Emir of Kano, Sanusi, was already issued query by the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwanso. But Kwankwanso has come up to debunk all of that, saying he never did that. And you can imagine the praises he has given. But, it's quite amazing to hear that the president is behind the removal of this guy. There were a lot of grapevines to that effect that the current president, was involved in the removal, owing to the fact that this guy was really on the neck of his government. Don't forget that the person of Sanusi is no respecter of person. He says the way he sees. He's this kind of person that wants to tell you the truth. That's why when he was given that mantle of becoming the emir, and he was questioned to know if he would like to go into politics, he just openly refused. He said he doesn't have what it takes to be a politician. And guess what? That's true. If you're a man of integrity, if you're a man of your word, if you do not give in to any form of fraudulent and corruptible act of government, you can't function perfectly as a politician. So he was already biting the present day government, because I can assure you, he wasn't only talking about just Kano, the failures in governance in Kano State. Whatever he was bringing up was quite national. He was talking about national issues, and just like this guy has rightly said, most people had believed that the reason why Emir of Kano was dethroned, or where he started having crisis with Ganduje, was the fact that he was not supportive of any particular candidate. He was just saying whoever that wins the election, he should be given the mandate. And don't forget that Yusuf actually won the election, but hey, I don't know what happened. INEC had to play around it, and all of a sudden they said, well, they need to go again into the polls for some other local governments, which their results were not available. And before we know, Yusuf was forced out of the position. Ganduje, from that day henceforth, undermined the office of the Emir. Wow, even me, I did not know that an Emir can be played down upon like that. But however, Kwangwazo has made his position known that Buhari is the one involved in the removal of Emir of Kano. We've not heard anything from the presidency in respect to his removal, because for me, those traditional, there are some key traditional rulers like the Oba of Benin, the one in Yoruba land also, the Emir of Kano, those are very key position that should not be joked with. If anything happens to them, I believe that the president should be fully involved, telling Nigerians pay time about what is happening. Ganduje would have been summoned and let him explain why he has decided to oust out a man of that capacity. But it was done without any question or without any story. But all the same, let's just look at one or two things that Nigerians have to say about it. This one say, thank you, Kwangwanso. You have spoken the truth. Buhari could have stopped Sanusi dethronement through dialogue and advice to Ganduje. It's a shame they allow politics to take over their minds. Long live Sanusi. Wow, you can see that at this point where he's been removed, he has gathered a lot of fans. This one said, it's only a fool and dumb that doesn't know that Sanusi has been blunt to his misrule and poor performance since he took over, and also campaign and oppose second term of dollar governor. He caused them problem in the voting equation. The two party men didn't forgive him. This one says here, if the president did what Kwangwanso alleged, so what? Kwangwanso, you are the cause of this misadventure and misfortune. This is just the beginning. You can hear there some APC guys are talking now. God have mercy. This one said the APC should not be voted for both at the state and federal level for their dehumanizing stance in Nigeria. Enough is enough. A lot of things Nigerians are just talking, and for me, I believe perfectly well that this guy must have been motivated. Ganduje must have been motivated by a more superior body to, superior personality to go on with the decision. Where I knew that they were going to dehumanize that throne. For me, that's this kind of playing down on, the Emir of Kano. It's a respected position. How I knew that something was going wrong was when they decided to decentralize the power of the Emir of Kano. He appointed about 4 of them, and this guy was almost at the verge of resigning. He told him he had to, accept to be the chairman of all the emirs in Kano. He had never been like that in history, That was where I knew that something was wrong. But guess what? This guy was not threatened a single day. Every time he had an opportunity to appear in a symposium, conference, or anything, he eased his mind. Now, this is one of the things that Nigerians should wake up to. Wake up to that duty of ensuring that the future posterity will bear you witness that you did the little that you can do to protect the heritage of Nigeria. No single person have the right to play around with the lives of Nigerians. Absolutely not. No one person, whether you are the president, whether you are the vice president, whether you are the governor, because guess what? If you look at the provision of the constitution, you know that the highest number of years they can stay in that position is just 8 years. So if they stay there and you begin to be so stupid and foolish and allow them to mess the whole country around, guess what? We are all going to pay for it. Some of them, after getting out of those positions, they travel abroad and just keep visiting Nigeria. They loot our treasury and they travel abroad. So everyone who has found himself in a reputable position where your voice is heard and valued, not just talking, but you know that your voice will be heard and your voice will be valued, we should not keep our mouth shut. Nigerians, we need to talk so that let these people realize what is going on, that we understand it, and we are doing everything to ensure that it is being stopped. Imagine, I was expecting that kind of nonsense will never take place for a man of that repute to be kicked out. But Wansu has clearly said it, that it was the handiwork of Buhari. And guess what? Nigerians are not disputing with him, because there are a lot of things that have happened in this country, and you just realize that Baba no they talk, you just keep quiet, just to show you that, man, there are some secret fingers manipulating things in government which will not help us in the nearest future. We are still waiting for the presidency to talk. They've not said anything. Now that they have been accused to be behind the removal of the Emir of Kano, we are waiting, because I believe for a while now I've not heard Gaba Shehu talk. I've not heard Loretta talk. I've not heard the likes of Adeshina, talk. We are still waiting to hear what they will say about this allegation on the presidency being involved in the removal of the Emir of Kano. All the same, it's good enough, because already, if you check our feed, you see he's already been given an appointment, so it doesn't really bother the man that much. But all the same, he had cried out that his life is at stake. But let's just wait to see what keeps on.